Okay, I'm going to try to do a video for you since I left my video on the GoPro probably and we're not near it. So what I did is I cut the material into a rectangle at the measurements you'll see in the text part of this. But this here, I'm gonna describe it. So you cut the rectangle, and then what I did is the short ends, I went ahead and put a hem on. A little, it looks like a 1/2 inch hem. Doesn't matter as long as it's hemmed. And I also did that at the top end up here, okay? So then, with it in the material inside out, you know, which it doesn't really matter which side's in or out here, just as long as your hems are all on the inside. I then sewed down the entire length, the long length, all the way down, 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 and around, stopping about 8 inches from the end, from this end. That's about 8 inches. And the reason I did that is because taking these off was very hard for us. And so what I did is I stopped the hem on the inside here, and from there I just kind of tapered it, like you can see there. And the same thing with the other side. And this way I can just take it, tuck it in. And this has been working for me pretty good for 2 years. So that's done. And then before you put it on, I then tapered the corners like a little teepee. And this one I actually did too much. I left the hole too small. So I would leave the hole at the top a little bit bigger, and I wouldn't taper it so steep. I would taper it more like out like this probably. So it's a little bit easier. And anyway, and then you slide it on. You just slide it on all the way down and up. And the one tip for sliding it on is when you start, this outside piece here should be outside here. So the open slit should be on the outside, because that way when you slide it around, around, and around again, it comes up and it's in the right position. And that's about it. Okay, so here's a quick demo. Let's just assume for a second that this is your piece of material that you've cut, and it is the width that we decided, which I decided to think was 8, and then it's like 50 inches long, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna hem the skinny ends, the top and the bottom. So you would sew those down, and then you're gonna fold it in half like this. You're gonna fold it in half with your hemmed edges on the outside, and then you're gonna sew all the way from one end, and you're gonna leave 8 inches on the end. Okay, so you're gonna sew to here, and then you're gonna open this up a little bit, and you're gonna sew in, you're gonna fold it, make a hem in here, make a little hem in here like this, and like this, and you're gonna sew in here. And then you're going to take this one and open up, and you're going to sew in here. So this thing is all sewn together like that. And then the very next thing you're going to do is you're going to go down the top like I was suggesting. You're going to, because for the hook to come out the top, so you're going to sew it about like this and about like this. And that leaves a hole in the top for the thing to come out. And then you have to turn the whole thing inside out.